ahead and bring this beautiful woman on. Ooh. Sophie, I'm so sorry. It's not allowing me to like scroll back up through the comments. So if you can log off and then come back in and then put that request again, I'm so sorry. But if you wouldn't mind doing that for me, Sophie, just log off real quick and then join back in and ask to request again so I can bring you on. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize we have a lot of people coming in and joining us. Hey, what's up, Jet? Lucy. Thank you, Susan, for being here. April, I love you. Oh, Sophie, there you are. I'm going to bring you on, girl. All right. So Sophie is coming on now, you guys. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Sophie. And hey, girl.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Oh, good. I'm good, thanks. I'm great, thank you. I'm great.
Awesome,
Happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too, friend. You look glowing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So do you. So do you.
Thank you.
I wish you a lovely Sunday.
Oh, yes, it is a lovely Sunday. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So, Sophie, I just want to thank you so much for coming and joining this beautiful community that I have here today. I'm so happy to share your wisdom with them. I've been getting a lot of really good feedback about our live today. A lot of people are excited for it. So I'm so happy that you're here and that we're finally doing it.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me as well. Yes, it's definitely a pleasure. So thank you for definitely for us actually connecting and for us actually being able to be on this live today.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so happy to be here. What's up, Keisha? Hello.
Hi.
All right, Sophie. So if you could just take a moment and tell everybody what it is that you do, what you're into, what you're all about on Instagram and social media.
Yeah, definitely. So my name's Sophie Davis, and I'm basically I'm 34 years old, and I do work full time. So I work as I work in the construction industry. So that's one thing that I do enjoy my job. However, I was always someone that, especially with the family that I come from, hey, comfy masks, especially from the family that I come from, I've always wanted to do something different because all of my family normally do something business driven. So I've been in business for, it'll be 5 years at the end of this month. So two things I do. I help people save money on bills that they pay for each and every month. So I do an actual global multi-level marketing, but I do love doing that. But because of the lockdown and everything, I was like, oh, I want to actually start my own personal journey with the actual hair care. So that's where I got into, and I used to work in beauty salons, so I'm actually qualified to do like eyelash extensions, but I've always so that was something where I've got my diplomas, I've got all my qualifications and stuff, but I've always been the person that in the bathroom or the kitchen putting together different concoctions. So, and I've always been interested in the hair, so it's something where it's like it was just natural for me to set up a hair channel. So on top of what I do with my work, my multi-level marketing, oh yeah, I also do trading, so on top of those I do a vlogging channel, so I do the hair care as well, so which has been fun.
You have so many talents, girl. So many talents. So I want to talk a little bit about how we connected. So I think that I found your page originally through Keisha, A Way of Life. Wow. She's on today. So hello to you there. Keisha. Yeah, just like all these beautiful connections that happen, right? Like meeting so many wonderful people. But one thing that I really loved about you is you do like so much holistic stuff. Like I see on your page, like whipping up stuff. Like I told you, that one stuff you made, it looks like frosting, you know, but it's for your hair. And so I just like immediately loved that because I'm very much into like using food as our medicine and as our beauty care. And, you know, like, so that was when, and then when we connected, you have such beautiful kindness. And that's one of my core values as an individual and in my business. And it's something that's very important to me in this community here on Instagram, like kindness and just creating this space where people can feel safe to share and we can really build a community. So that's one thing that, you know, just I really felt that beautiful connection with you and sort of like a friendship right away. So
yeah, that's so true, and I love that because it's like it's nice to come across like-minded people. So when we connected, I was just like, oh, it just felt so natural. Like it was really nice for us to just like share the same interest and values. And I love going back to more, especially I've got vegan brothers. Like they're like always saying to us, you know what, you girls, come on, you know. So it's like one of those things where the whole holistic and just wellness in general is something that I kind of discovered like only a few years ago. And especially you may have seen on my page that I did suffer a little bit of hair loss, but that was self-inflicted. So for me it was like just getting back to doing my own, like being able to do things for myself, making my own thing. But I do recommend companies, businesses as well, so I don't rule them out. But I just love actually making things from scratch, and sometimes it can just be 2 ingredients. I'm a little extra. I like to do as many ingredients because I
up,
like
girl.
to get, yeah, exactly. So I like to kind of go all out because I know those things like benefit my hair, and the women that I follow, they have absolutely beautiful hair. So you know, it's just one of those things that really getting into that kind of thing, like, but especially with lockdown, like a lot of the things, like, I don't know how it is where you are in Albuquerque, but in London, in London, where we got one of the strictest lockdown rules ever, and London, as we know, it's like the hub of the UK. It is one of the biggest cities in the world, so to actually get a delivery, everything takes longer now.
Right?
Everything takes longer.
You're having to take matters
So
into your own hands.
yeah, totally. I had to be like, well, I need to learn. But I've been learning it for years. I had to learn how to actually make things from scratch for myself. So that's what I enjoy doing, and it's been fun. Hey, Miss Rebel Jewel. So I just absolutely enjoy it. It's so much fun.
That's awesome, Sophie, and I'm excited to learn more. So I
Yeah.
wanted to just kind of give a rundown. You mentioned something like that you had a little bit of hair loss, and you said, but it was self-inflicted. And so I want to go more into that, but towards the end of our conversation, because we're kind of going to talk about like the holistic side, the mind, the body, spirit in terms of like our beauty care. So we will cover that. But first, you guys, we're going to start off by sharing our own care routines. I always think it's fun to like see what other people do, and I want to know what you do because you have like such beautiful skin. And so
So do
so I
you.
really want to, so we're going to go over our self-care routines, and then we're going to talk a little about henna hair care because I use that, you use that. And then
Yeah.
what everybody's waiting for is the Derma Roller talk. So we're going to
Oh
talk a
yeah,
little bit
yeah.
about the use of the Derma Roller, the many different uses of the Derma Roller, and then we'll get into like the holistic side of it. So Sophie, do you
Yeah.
want to start off by sharing a little bit about your care routine, maybe showing some
Yeah,
products?
Definitely. So, as I mentioned, I do, I guess we're going to talk about the Derma Roller in a moment, but I like to make my own little concoctions at home, but I do use some of the standard things. What I've done a lot of is I've done a lot of replacing sulfates. Now, just to be frank here, we have different hair types. However, it doesn't mean that all of us on this call can't use the same products. No one's hair can withstand chemicals. No one's hair can withstand sulfate. It's so important that we take those out of our routine. Only because it dries out our hair, and it's just overall it's bad. Things like minerals and parabens, those contribute to hair loss, those contribute to dry hair, and it just means that your hair doesn't reach its optimal health. I know a lot of people say, oh no, you know what, sulfate, we can use it, but try and minimize it, because even if you look on the back of a bottle of water, our hair has if you look on the back of the bottle of water, say like Volvic, Evian, any of those pre-made bottles that are not alkaline, they have sulfates in it. So we're already digesting sulfates. So to add more into our hair care routine is very damaging. So that's something that I've steered away, managed to wean myself off of shampoos. The one thing I was using before was one that was herbal essences, but that was sulfate free. But now I use Ghanas Fresh. So Ghanas Fresh, I'm actually an affiliate for the company, which means you get a discount code. So I'll just show it to the screen. This is a black soap. So with that, they basically have like very key ingredients. So it's all natural, it's all good for the hair, because some hair types are more oilier than others. And why? Because of sebum. We all generate oils in our scalp, but if your hair's like a more curlier pattern, then there's the oil takes time to travel down the hair shaft. However, we all can still use these things. So the ingredients in these are all natural, and they all promote hair growth. They all relieve any kind of scalp issues and stuff like that. So they're so beneficial, and it's all natural, and it relieves things like eczema, dermatitis, dandruff, anything like that. So if anyone interested in hearing about the black soap and they've not tried it before, I mean, you can either you can either DM me or anything like that.
Do you want to share the code now, Sophie? Do you want to share the code now? I'm going to write it down. And put it
you know what? I've got a brain like a sieve. I can't remember what it is. So
okay.
I'd say the best thing, if someone can link the codes, if they just go directly to you, I'll send it directly to you, or they can link my channel and then just go through, because I always post it on my YouTube. So that's something where I think if you go to the Ghanas Fresh, it's like SOPH 5 or something like that, but they'll need the website, of course, and then they'll get a discount. And then that's another beautiful thing, is that they're offering the discounts on that. And this actual tub itself is like, how many mil is it? Maybe 200 mil, I don't know. But this lasts a very long time. A little goes a long way. And that's another thing where I've been like, I want products that are going to last me a very long time. So that's the first one. The next one is hibiscus. So this is another one that I get from Ghanas Fresh. So hibiscus, that's really changed the hair game for me, because it's something that yeah, that is beautiful.
Oh,
so yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? So growing up in like oh, my brother's just joined. Hey, Scat. Oh, I love him. So with hibiscus, that is something where it's something that I was used to growing up. We infuse it in tea, or we infuse it in drink. So when it started being that, we call it sorrel in the Caribbean. But when I heard that it was being called hibiscus, I was like, but that looks like sorrel. So I got confused. I was like, well, okay, that's
The
interesting.
same
And
thing.
hibiscus, yeah, hibiscus is like a very powerful flower. So what it does is it relieves so many things that you wouldn't even think a flower could possibly do for hair. So it relieves things like, again, like eczema, psoriasis. So I've had psoriasis of my scalp. It reduces inflammation, it reduces hair shedding, it actually kind of helps hair damage. So like if in general, if we put heat on our hair, again, it doesn't matter what hair type you have, if you put heat on your hair on a regular basis, you need to actually reverse that damage, because your hair's just going to be the hair strands are just going to suffer from split ends and stuff like that. So with the hibiscus, it actually repairs the hair shaft. So with that, it actually and it also actually reduces the risk of premature hair loss, premature grays, things like that. So that's
So
perfect.
hibiscus,
And
you guys, write it down. Write
hibiscus,
it down.
yeah. And again, this is Ghana's Fresh. So I'd say really make the most of this. Get your, if you can, get your discount codes on. This is amazing stuff, and I do drink it as well. So
yes,
it's something
I love
that
that.
I
I
love
love
to
that
use
you,
it.
whenever you can like eat whatever it is that you're putting on your body or your face,
Yeah.
like that's a good sign, right?
Definitely. Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Anything you can eat is, I mean, I incorporate things. I do use a lot of Ayurvedic practice. So that's something that I do love to do. And that has been, as we've both talked about directly, that's something that's been around for a very long time, ancient times. So I don't know when
Yes.
it was derived,
Going back
but
to
it's been
basics,
around
right?
a
That's
long
how I
time.
feel like we got to go back to
Yeah,
basics. The things
yeah,
that worked instead
exactly.
of all these added chemicals and fancy
Yeah,
smells and
and
all this
and
stuff. Like,
the
just go back to basics.
yeah, and then the worst thing about it is when I was actually researching, I was researching what is the difference between men and women's hair care regime. Why do men have their own products? And the only reason they have their own products is because men generally don't like the scent of women's shampoo. So I thought, well, if they don't like the scent of women's shampoo, why are they putting stuff in our shampoo that are not actually good for us, like the perfumes and things like that? They're just not good to use. Anything that maybe has an overpowering scent to it, I'd say really think about using it, or just avoid it in general. Everything should have a natural scent to it. Obviously, you don't want it to smell horrible, but you want it to smell like not overwhelmingly perfumey and
Like
stuff. So
natural, like natural.
yeah, totally,
Yes.
totally.
On
So
that note, Sophie, I wanted to ask you, so you mentioned sulfates. I wanted to know if you could name like 3 things that we should really try to like look at when we're looking at the ingredients in our products. And if those 3 things are on there, we can be like, okay, no. So I
so
like
the
to say your go-to nose instead of your
you
go-tos,
go-to
your
nose.
go nose.
So your go-to nose are definitely sulfates. Sulfates. If you're consuming it in food, then that's kind of a scary thing, because a lot of foods have hidden ingredients in them, which water is in most of our foods, which again, if you're not picking it fresh, then the likeliness is you're gonna have some kind of sulfate in it. So if your hair care products have sulfates in it, definitely try not to use it. So sulfates is one. And then so I'll let you read that. Miss Rebel Jules says,
Yeah, she wants to know, adding essential oils to make it smell nice. I say, yeah, definitely. But
oh
what did you say?
yeah, definitely,
Yes.
definitely. Oh yeah, definitely, Miss Rebel Jewel. The essential oils, mwah, they just make it smell nice, like rosemary oil, lavender oil,
Lavender.
peppermint. They
Mm-hmm.
make everything smell nice, and you can add that to your shampoos. You can add it to your shampoos to feel like you're getting that kind of, well, you can use eucalyptus oil. Yeah, you can use all those geranium, eucalyptus, I've said that. So all those type of oils you can definitely add in to all of your products, like your conditioners, your shampoos, everything.
Yes.
So
So hello, everybody who's joining us. Thank you
hi,
so much.
hi,
This is an
Love,
awesome group
hi,
of people.
Zaid.
So Sophie is right
So
now giving us three
yeah.
ingredients that we're looking for, that if we see them in our products, we want to say no to them. So the first one
Yeah,
is sulfates.
definitely.
And the second one,
And then the second thing I'd say, well, this is another thing that appears a lot in is salic acid. Now, salic acid, oh, no problem, Miss Rebel Jewel. Salic acid is something that is so funny because I knew it to be something that gets rid of moles or like kind of like spots, because I'm a big like how do you say, person who I just research everything. So
wonderful.
salic acid is something that I've always known as a wart remover. I've never had warts, but you know, I like to do my research.
Yeah.
And I looked on one of the shampoos one time. I was like, why is salic acid? It's nearly in all of the products. Do you name it? It's got it in it, like your L'Oreal's and things like that. I don't use L'Oreal because for me it's just too stripping for my hair. So if anything's got salic acid, it normally appears next to the word sulfate. Avoid it. Definitely.
Perfect.
It's a stripping like
Takes away
kind
those
of,
oils that are so healthy
yeah,
for our hair.
if it can remove a wart off
Right?
of
Why do
your
you want to put it
skin,
in your hair?
then why do you want to put it on your scalp? But
Right?
yes, totally.
Seriously.
So that's
And then the
another thing.
third one, Sophie?
And I'm not trained in the hair care practice. I just love to do my research.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
such a little
That counts.
kind of like, I love to research everything. You name it, Google's my best friend. So the third thing, I kind of will give you four actually. So the next thing is mineral oil. So with mineral oil, our hair naturally has oils in it, and maybe avoid things with certain oils in it that may clog up the actual hair follicle. So mineral oil, a lot of people do oppose against it. And why? Because that is one thing that actually encourages hair loss. That's one thing that I'm not too knowledgeable about it in depth, but you best believe mineral oil is on the list of the no-goes in the hair care practice, definitely.
Awesome.
So anything like that, again, a lot of products have mineral oils in it, but you just wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Awesome.
And then the fourth one, oh, hi to everyone. Hi, oh, sorry, I'm saying it wrong, Carol. Yeah, so and one of the last things I'd say is, so we've got the sulfate, salic acid, and our mineral oil, and then the last thing I would say is the parabens. So you want to make sure there's nothing with parabens in it, because again, that's something that will be bad for the hair. So that's something where it's, again, all those ingredients, those four ingredients, when you see those, then you know it's something to avoid in your hair.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
And I'll put all those in the comments of this video when I post it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Sophie and I are right now sharing just a little bit about the products that we use in our daily routines. She shared with us two really amazing ones, the hibiscus being my favorite so far. Did you have any others that you wanted to share?
Yeah, definitely. So one is one of the ones I do. So we both know we use henna, right? So the best way for me that I use henna on a daily basis, and the one person I took so much inspiration from is a lady named Curly Proverbs. So she's one person that she's actually started selling. She's based in the UK, but she sells a lot of her stuff in the US. So we're actually waiting for her to actually sell her stuff in the UK, and I believe that's coming soon. I thought we can do pre-orders now, but she was giving tips on how to best use henna, and then I was like, oh, that's pretty simple. Also, oh, hi Black Bee. So Black Bee says, can you repeat the 4 things to avoid? Oh, sorry, I'll quickly go through it. So sulfates, sorry Lee, so
No, that's
sulfates,
perfect.
salic acid, mineral oils, and parabens. And you know what? One thing I missed off, 5 things: alcohol.
And
So
alcohol.
we don't have alcohol in our household anyway. So we don't use that in our product. So alcohol is 100% one. All of those normally appear together. Again, anything with alcohol,
Stay away.
no.
Too drying.
Stay away. Again, is stripping, is drying, and then again, alcohol isn't something you'd want to put on your hair. If you don't put it in your body, I don't drink alcohol anymore. I used to, but it's something that if I don't put it in my body, you best believe that I'm not. Oh, no problem at all, Blackbee. You definitely believe I will not be putting it on my hair. So, one of the things that Curly Proverbs actually said to do, because she doesn't sell, her products aren't available as yet in the UK, she said, oh, well, you can mix actually henna and coconut oil. And I was like, oh, so I've actually been using henna for over a year. So this is the one that I use Genie. So this one's Caribbean organic organic virgin coconut oil, and it smells so beautiful. It just has this nice scent to it. So with this one is quite a big jar as well. This would last you a very long time. And this one I actually mix in with the henna. So I use Newport henna. And the Newport henna, all I do is get an applicator bottle, mix the two together, and like I said, Lee, I love to mix my oil, so I am extra. I do mix other oils in, but just so it's just easier for some people who may not want, who are just taking that leap, or may not want to be mixing everything, then I just mix those two together, and then I put it on my hair. And then you can use it on wash day. I use it every day because with my hair, I wash my hair once a week and it doesn't need to be washed more than that. But if your hair does generate more oils, then all you have to do is when you're washing your hair, use the henna for a little while in the hair or however you want to use it. And then you're good to go. And then I've noticed that my hair actually looks darker, and my hair just looks more like it's gone from a very dull color to a very dark color. So I absolutely love what it's done for my hair.
Like a richer color, right?
Yeah, without me having to dye, because I dyed my hair purple when I was 17. And as you do, and yeah, so for me it was like hi. So for me it was like it was one of those things where I was like, how do I actually get my hair back to its original color? And the henna done wonders for me. So I've been using that for over a year now actually, and it's just been amazing.
I want to just clarify. So you take that that mix that you just showed us, and you mix it with the powder, and then you just put it in your hair. And that's
Yeah, you can do so you can do it two ways. So what I tend to do, I don't have the applicator bottle. I should have took one, but I have spare applicator bottles. But I put it in an applicator bottle. Well, I put it in a little jar first so I can infuse them,
yes.
mix them together, and then I pour it into, oh, you can use a measuring jug. I use a measuring jug. So I pour that once I've infused it into the bottle, and then that is literally it. And then I just apply it to my scalp, and then I do apply it along my hair strand, and then I just go like that in like a prayer method form, and then that is it. Or you can put the henna into your favorite conditioner and do like a conditioning treatment with it. You can even add some avocado, a banana, blend it
all
up,
kinds of
make
stuff.
sure
I love this. I love learning new because I use the henna, but it's like a process because I use it, you know, to dye my grays, which
to
is
dye.
almost due for.
Yeah,
But I love learning other ways to use it where I can use it in between the dyeing. So we're gonna have to
yeah,
talk more about that. So, all right. So
yeah.
you've showed us some awesome, amazing products. Do you have any others that you wanted to share?
Yeah, sure. I use the main things that I use is like more like things like from Ghana's Fresh Again. I just use a mix of things like their moringa tea. So what I'll do is I'll infuse my tea, their hibiscus tea, and their moringa tea, and I use it as a spray. All our hair needs water. Our hair's like a plant, so we always need to keep our hair moisturized because our hair generates oil naturally. So shall I, you know what someone said? So once mixed, do you just apply to the hair and leave it? Yeah, I do. But you can, it depends again if your hair on the hair type. So my hair type is type 4. I will tend to leave it in my hair for a week. But the oilier your hair is, you have to see what your hair type is. If your hair is more oilier, then you don't need to apply it all the time. You can just apply it once. Or some people can just mix henna and water and then apply it to the whole hair, and then that's it, and then wash it out after 3 hours, or they can leave it overnight.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
I
So
love this.
yeah, so the moisture
So,
is
Sophie, tell us what you use for your face.
oh, for my face, I just use coconut oil.
I love that. I love that answer.
Yeah, and I'm at home. I use Genie, so I've got Genie for my hair. It's Genie all day. So I use Genie for my hair. I've got another Genie tub, so I keep them separate. So I
You're
use
making
Genie
your
for
wishes
my
come
hair.
true.
Yeah, exactly. So I use that in my hair and that on my skin, and I just make sure that I don't wear like makeup as much. Like I've got like a makeup on today, but I tend not to wear
Really?
it as much, and I found that my skin just feels a lot better because I am more prone to whiteheads. But and then also I drink over 2 liters of water a day.
Water, yes. Stay
So that's
hydrated.
yeah, the
The best.
water.
From the inside
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So I think like growing up, my mum always she didn't tell us we couldn't wear makeup, but she was amazing because she was one person that encouraged us to be our like kind of authentic selves in that sense. So the makeup, I went on makeup courses, but I can go forever without wearing makeup. I'm just so used to it.
That's nice.
And then I
Yeah.
know that because my skin's more prone to like spots and stuff, then I find it easier not to wear it. I just put on a bit of oil and or I use all different things, but mainly that.
I love it. So at night when you wash your face at night, do you use the coconut oil to kind of like take off the
Oh yeah.
dirt, or?
Yeah, so when it comes to removing my makeup, what I was doing before was I was using, like, you know, like those makeup washes, but I found that I was just spending too much on it. So I'm all about economy, where I don't have to spend, I don't need to, especially again with we're in lockdown. I like to be more savvy with my money. So what I've been doing is, well, yeah, when I need to remove my makeup, I use a cotton pad, and then I literally apply the coconut oil to the pad, or I immerse the pad into, that's how I separate the two jars. I immerse it into the coconut oil, and then I just rub it over to remove the makeup.
Awesome.
And then what I do is I go in with a charcoal wash. So with that, I use that to wash my face. So,
I love
and I
that.
don't scrub my
Simplicity.
skin as well. Yeah, I don't scrub my skin.
Okay, you don't scrub your skin. That's an interesting
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to move on because we're at 40 minutes, which I could talk to you forever. I feel like I could talk to you forever. So we touched also on the henna. I wanted to share the product that I use. This is the Morocco method is, and they have a really awesome website too. They have like a hair lunar cycle, so where you can, you know, if you're trying to get length in your hair, you're supposed to like trim it on certain days that follow the moon cycle. So I'm not like so much into that, but I think it's a beautiful concept. And so this company, I really love them, and it's just, you know, like it's so it's indigo for the original. So you do 2 applications. You put the henna first, and then you put the indigo on top, right? Is that, and so so I've been using that for I think over 7 years, and I just like it's like I would never go back to using like the chemical bases, because I just feel like they're so harsh, right?
Yeah, definitely. Hey, honestly, vegan.
I know, such a beautiful turnout. Thank you guys. So, Sophie, did you want to share any more about your experience with henna, how you use it, what you want to say about it? Can you share the brand again of henna that you purchased?
Yeah, so you know, like the one that you use, I totally agree. It's so good when you're getting henna. That looks, and that's like a good like amount. When you're getting the henna, Mrs. Vigil says,
So
how
that's
long
Anna.
does the henna last?
Hey, Anna,
It lasts like forever. It lasts
it lasts like,
forever. Yeah.
so Anna,
Listen,
like it
cut your
dyes
hair off.
my grays. Yeah, it dyes my grays. And then this, like the last time I dyed it, I think was like almost 3 months ago. And you can tell that the rest of my hair is still perfect. It's just what's grown out. So it's permanent. It's permanent. And I mean, it just depends on how fast your hair grows. But
Yeah,
so
and yeah, oh brilliant. Yeah, so with that then it definitely lasts forever. And then the thing is, if you cut your hair, or if you were to shave your hair off, of course it's gonna grow back to its original state. But yeah, the henna will last for long. And I'd say really be careful with where you buy your henna, because if you get ones with the colouring in it, or if it's some kind of dye kit henna, which I have bought in the past, then you're doing yourself more damage than good. I'd say go for the pure. Even this new pod, they do a mix with the different things in it, like Brahmi, Shakaikai. I just go for the Newport original, and it's 100% henna. As long as it says 100% henna on it. Oh, it says it on the back. Oh no, it says it on the front.
Yeah,
so you're
I love that. I
looking
think
for
that's such a good point, Sophie, because I remember like when I was first getting into this and I heard about using henna to dye your hair, I looked at all the salons in Albuquerque, and there was one lady that, you know, she did henna dye, And I'm like, okay,
Mm,
awesome. But you know, it has henna in it, but it's like,
mm.
I feel like you said it's like even worse. And so,
Oh no,
yeah, I
it's
think that's
diverse.
a good point to
Mm,
make, is make sure that it's just henna, like,
yeah,
or henna and indigo, you know, the combination of them. But yeah, very
yeah.
important, because the henna alone is very good for your hair, right? But mixed
Mm.
with all the other chemicals, it kind of like cancels out the benefits.
Totally. It's so scary. And you could easily be like so excited and ordering, because I get mine from eBay. I get so excited. I'm like, oh, I want to order something, you know, and then the next thing you've ordered something which has a chemical, certain like rubbish in it that you it's just not suitable for your hair at all. So I'd say always look if it's 100% henna, and that's when you know that it's a pure henna. And then also they there is videos again. I'd say if you can really look up Curly Proverbs, because what she does is she actually shows the comparison between two hennas, the fake one and the real one, and the colors are completely different. You can tell that it's been tampered with, that it's
Mm.
not the original stuff. So I'd say,
I want to follow Curly Proverbs, and
yeah,
she's on
so shall I
Instagram.
put, yeah, so shall I type it now?
Yeah, sure. If you want to share
Um,
that, because we can all follow, um,
Proverbs.
as a resource for our hair care and stuff.
Yeah,
So thank you
definitely.
for putting it.
She's really kind of of course these things have been around for years, but she's really championed it. She really been like, oh well, you know what? My hair wasn't. Her hair looks very like the color of it just looks very vibrant, and her hair growth with henna has been incredible. Like
Mm.
if you look her up, like she's one person that I take so much inspiration from. And she's a really nice person as well, because I've actually had an email from her at Christmas, and she was like, yeah, don't worry, products will be, you know, available in the UK soon. So it's a lot more available, her products in the US than it
Yeah,
is in the UK. But a lot of people in the UK, or and her products are available in different parts of the globe. I think it's just a Europe thing. I think it's our Brexit thing. But what she does is she gives us so many tips that you can take it away and do your research and make sure that you're using the right thing. So I'd say really look her up. She's taught me so much about the henna and stuff like that.
perfect. Thank you. And then, so let's move on to the topic that I think many are waiting for. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to know about the Derma Roller. So, um,
Yeah.
so Derma Roller
Hi,
has
Sister.
Derma Roller has so many uses, right? And you
Mhm.
talk about growing your edges back, the receding hairline,
Yeah.
and so I want to touch on that. And then I had a friend from the community ask about eyebrows, using it for
Oh
eyebrows. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
yeah,
And then I've just
yeah.
recently started using it on my face. So I just want to like have this conversation about the Derma Roller. Tell us what you know, and then I have a few questions to ask.
Yeah, oh, brilliant. So with the Derma Roller, that was something that I'd always known for the skin. So I've been like researching again everywhere, and I just always guessed that it was for skincare, because I've always been in that kind of industry as well. So
I
I was
think it's
always
like how they
fascinated
market it
by it.
too.
They use it for things like stretch marks and crow's feet and wrinkles and stuff. So I do have stretch marks. Ah, Mother
Oh, love
Earth.
you too. Love you
So
too, Bella.
yeah, so I do have stretch marks. So it's something where I'm not that fussed about it, but if I do need to use it, I know I can use a derma roller. So with that, I was kind of looking at places where I could get my hairline back, and it was just one of those things that I was actually going to places and getting like kind of consultation, and it just wasn't practical. Just money wise, I thought, okay, well, this is going to cost me thousands of pounds. Like, so I just looked on YouTube and I found people that were using the Derma Roller, and there was one lady in particular, her name is Disco Curls. She was the person that I actually found the Miss Rebel Jill says stretch marks, I need it. Yeah, it's meant to be really good for that. It's meant to be, but I've just not bothered to use it but on my stretch marks, but I use the coconut oil. But going back to that, so basically, I was like, oh, I need something that will get my hairline back, because I was just thinking all sorts of thinking hair transplant or whatever, and I didn't want to go down that route. So then I do my YouTube. I come across Disco Curls, and she actually used it for a few months to get her hairline, and I was like, wow. I was like, the actual result was incredible. She literally had like little to no hair in like the same areas where I had no hair, and then I started finding other women and men that had no hair, or even men who have no hair use the Derma Roller. Seriously.
It's amazing how there's always like a healthier alternative, right? Like instead of like doing these transplants that are so like invasive, and there's always another way, right? And if we open ourselves up to it, it presents itself. So I think how amazing, because so tell us about how the Derma Roller works. Like, why does it work? It's because it forces the skin to like regrow, or like
exactly. So what it does is there's that we have layers in the scalp. So it actually pierces, it punctures the hair. So you're meant to use it gently. So this is the one that comes from the one that I bought from Skin Medics. So this comes in, and this is they all have different size rollers. And yeah, I agree, there's always a way. So they come in different sizes. And it's always hard to open this thing. It's like in this little so I've got it open. You have to be so careful. You have to be so careful. So this is what it looks like. So it has 300 needles on it. So what it does is I won't do it because I haven't sanitized it, but you just use it gently in the area with no hair. So you glide it across, and you must sanitize this, as sterilize it as well. You can sterilize it with washing up liquid, hand sanitizing gel, or alcohol. So what you do is it punctures the scalp, but you shouldn't feel it. It just punctures it without you knowing it. It should feel so gentle. All you're doing is you're gliding it across like that. So then what it does is it promotes the hair follicles. It actually gets them popping out. So like if the hair's in growing, then it forces the hairs to come out again.
Oh, interesting. You know, I just want to share a funny story, because I was starting to, you know, have like a little receding here. And so I'm very similar to you. I look for holistic ways to solve problems. And I heard that the purple onion, you know, if you juice it and you use like the pulp, you know, to put it. So I would do that for a while. And then I heard, you know, if you take a shot of the onion juice, don't ever do that. It was like the worst thing I've ever done.
Oh, you know what?
Worst. So I think it's funny because there's so much out there, you know, there's like all, you know, there's the medical route that's very expensive. Then there's like the more holistic route. So I think this is kind of like a beautiful median, because it is like slightly medical, but it's not so evasive, and it feels a little more holistic to me. And just the idea of that, it's kind of getting the cells to just kind of grow more, like rejuvenate, like give them a little bit of a wake up, right?
Exactly.
So I love this idea of the Derma Roller.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the point I'm going to make. So like with things like onion juice and rice water and things like that, where people say, oh, it actually does help. Sometimes you need that extra thing, because I was using onions and I just got fed up of the smell. And the rice water. Oh God, that was another thing where I got bored of the smell of it, because you have to be. We were preparing it, and I was just like, oh, we can't do this anymore. It was just
Right.
making the house
Right.
smell. Not that it was smelling, but it was just like we just smelt of onion and
My husband
rice
used to
water.
get in bed and he would say, "Oh, it smells like steaks in here."
Yeah, exactly. You know what? It's so funny because it's like we kind of done both the onion, and because I used to prepare it, and this was like January of last year, so I was preparing it in batches, and the more you leave those things, the more it ferments, and then the more it's
It's a
meant
really
to be more
stronger smell.
potent. But there's only so much essential oils and stuff that you can use to
Right.
get those follicles going. So we were just like, we can't do this anymore. It's just too much. And then it was like just getting on our pillowcases and stuff like that. So we were like, no. And then that's where I came across. I came across the Derma Roller in December 2019, and then I was so scared to use it. I actually didn't use it until maybe January, February of
Yeah.
last year. But it's the best thing I'd ever done, because it really did revitalize the hair. And by the time I knew it, it took about 5 months, where the things that I know people have used, like certain things like oils or onions, or they're just saying, oh well, Sophie, my hair's not growing in that area, or it's still thin. And sometimes you need that extra push, that extra something that's more medical. Yeah.
Mm.
And then
Can you tell
I
us?
don't.
Can you tell us for the eyebrows? Because I had a beautiful member of my community ask specifically for
Yeah.
eyebrows, and he also wants to know: do you have to use like any serum? How often? Give us the download on the eyebrows.
Yeah, definitely. So I used to shave my eyebrows off when I was a teenager. That was the biggest mistake of my life, but that's just things that you do
Much
when
do,
you're a
yeah.
kid. What I done was I thought, oh, why don't I use the Derma Roller on my eyebrows? That was the best thing. So what I did was I basically treated my eyebrows like I did with my hairline. So I shampooed the area, made sure my Derma Roller was sanitized, and what I did was then I applied it first to my brows. So I did the Derma Roller. So all I did was, and I'll just get it out again if I can. All I did is I glided it across in different directions. So it gives you instructions anyway. But again, if you want to send me a DM, then I'll send you the links that I send to everyone that I've gotten that I've used myself. So all I do is in a little pattern, I just do 5 ways half of my eyebrow, going across. Sister Mim's laughing. And then I go 5 ways up, and then again I do this side. So I do 5 in 5 directions going across, and then 5 direction in the up direction 5 times, and then I go diagonally across, and then I go down, and then I do it up, and then I go down, and I do that 5 times, and
Daily.
then literally,
Do you do it
oh
daily?
yes, 3 times a week.
3 times a
You
week.
don't need to do it no more than 3 times a week, because what will happen is you'll be causing more harm than good.
And that's the
So
same with the edges, with
that's
the
the same
receding
with
part.
the edges. You only need to do it 3 times maximum a week. And that's, again, I've got links to that where there's doctors saying, you know, this is how you use it and stuff like that. So
Sophie, can you talk a little bit about, because there's different size needles, right? And like,
yes,
do you
yeah.
have to like continue like increasing the size, or, and how long does one derma roller last?
Yeah, so basically with this I use what they call a 0.05, or I do have rollers that's a 1, so they're come in millimeters. So I used a 0.5. And then again, if anyone wants that information, then definitely come to me. So the maximum that you should use at home is a 1 millimeter size derma roller needle. Because what happens if you go beyond the 1 millimeter, then that should be something that should be medically administered. It should be done by an expert.
Perfect.
So what you'll do, if you do use one that's bigger than a one size needle, then you will literally actually cause damage to this, injure your scalp, which you don't want to do. And it's something you can do from home, so don't be afraid to actually do it, but please make sure that you do it the right way as well.
So Sophie, will you, Sophie does have a code, so can you give information about where they can get it? And also, you guys follow Sophie. She's a kind, beautiful, amazing, intelligent, holistic person. So follow her, and she's got all this info on her page. But can you tell us now where we can get it? And she's going to share a code with us. I'll put it in the comments, but where, give us that info.
Yeah, sure. So Sister Mem says, where can we get the roller? So I get mine from Skin Medics. I said to them, I said, look, can you give me a code? Because there's so many women that I've spoken to that have said, oh, Sophie, you know what, my hairline, and they're from all different places. So they actually do international shipping. They're based in the US. Oh, yeah, so I'll tell you what, I will put their actual link. If I can remember it. I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Sometimes, oh yeah, shown up automatically. So, and then the discount code, yeah, there we go. So yeah, so they gave me the discount code. So it's so good to get, like, I don't know if that works for it should work for any shipping. So what it does is it gives you 10% off of the derma roller. So you can get the derma roller from anywhere like eBay or Amazon, but I'd say again, be careful, just make sure that you get it from somewhere that's you know, that's reputable, because their actual needles are real, either titanium or they're real steel, and then you just won't go wrong. For the price that you pay for that, it's more beneficial to get something that's gonna last you. And if you do drop, and I always say this as well, if you do drop the derma roller on the floor, just put it in the bin. You must put it in the bin, because what happens if you drop it, or if I literally carry this around like I'm carrying a vase or something around, because if I exactly, if I drop it, or if I mishandle it, what happens is the needles bend, and then you can't use it. It'll just damage the scalp again. So I'd say I carry it around very delicately. I treat it with so much delicacy. And also the length of the derma roller, I'm due to replace mine, so I started using it maybe around this time, or maybe this time last year. So I'd replace it. Yeah, definitely, Miss Rebel Jewel. So I'd say mine is due to be replaced. So
Okay.
I'd say replace it every year just for hygiene reasons more
Mm-hmm.
than
Mm-hmm.
anything. But you have to sanitize it every time you use it.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Sophie, this conversation is amazing. We've been speaking for an hour and I could literally talk to you all day.
I
All day.
know.
So because, I am, the work that I do revolves around trauma and, a little bit deeper stuff. I do want to talk about
Mhm.
like what you mentioned when you said I was going through hair loss, but it was self-inflicted. What did you mean by that? And then I want to kind of give my take on that as well. And then just kind of
Yeah.
close out with a little information that I want to share.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just more the hairstyles I was doing. I was like, oh, the tighter the better. Like I just wanted everything kind of slicked down or kind of like perfect till the heat. I was applying too much heat to my hair. Again, this is something that is bad for a lot of us in general, regardless of the hair type. So I was using too much heat. I was using the wrong product. So I was using more things that weren't as natural. So it was just more of a thing that I had to put down certain things that I was used to using that I thought were actually just to get a hairstyle. So now I am more conscious of hey comfy masks. Yes, I am more conscious of what I put what I put on my hair, what I put in my body as well. So I think that is self-infliction in its own because I've had to really work around my diet and work around and that includes the hair because the last thing that
Yeah.
with our organs, all of the nutrients that we take in, and most of you may know anyway, all of the nutrients we take in goes to our vital organs first. They don't go to our hair. The last thing to receive vitamins and nutrients is our hair. So it
Yes.
was something that I had to learn, and I had to force myself even to drink water. I know my sisters or my brothers would be more inclined to drink water, but that was something I failed on, and that's something that now even during winter I drink no
Good. Yeah.
less than 2 liters of water a day.
So important yes, so important.
Yeah.
So I love this segue into it because it's that whole like holistic overview, right? The mind, the body, the spirit, like what we're eating, what we're
Mm.
thinking, and what we're doing to the physical body. It all like plays in together. So I think that's such an important thing to remember. And then what I want to share about that is just that I think, the body is the direct messenger of the mind. So whatever's going on in the mind is going to be reflected in the body. And so
Mm. Mm.
with our self-care routines, I think it's so important to find that beautiful balance that feels good to us, right? Like I mentioned in my story yesterday, like it has to feel good financially, like it has to balance out financially. It has to feel good, like what it's doing, what it's actually, the actual effects are. And it has to feel
Mm.
good to us, like with our values and where we are at in life, right? And everybody's self-care routine is going to look different. And there isn't a wrong way or a right way. The right way is whatever's good for your soul, right? Whatever is in
Mm.
alignment with where you're at in your life and how you're trying to feel, So I think it's very important. I just want to share because I love her so much. Louise Hay, she's my favorite author of all time. She's obviously passed away now, but she has a
Oh.
book. She has this book, You Can Heal Your
Mhm.
Life. And in it, she talks about all the different diseases within the body and the possible connection between a thought process with that particular issue in the body, and then she provides an affirmation to kind of like counter it. So I'm going to give the one for hair loss and for skin, and just so that we can begin to remember that our thoughts matter. Like our thoughts matter, what we're thinking. If we're making these beauty decisions based on the fact that we feel unworthy, then the problem is not fixing, you know, the problem is not injecting more Botox. The problem is finding out why we lack that self-love of accepting ourselves just how we are, you know, and being that authentic self. Like, why are we so scared of that? So I think it's just important to, when we're talking about our body care and what we're doing on the outside, to remember those parts. So on that note, for hair loss, let's see. I'm gonna see. Okay. Do you have anything you wanted to say on that, Sophie, while I'm looking for these?
Yeah,
real
that's
quick?
beautiful. And words are power. And that was another thing I had to change. It's funny because my sister did a live yesterday, and she was actually had to, with both of us, so me and my sisters, we had to change. Even with my brothers as well, we all had to change what we were taking in, because we knew that words are power. Even if you say something negative to yourself or listen to something negative, then that sets you up for your day. So in the start of my day, the first thing I do is say something positive to myself. I do believe in God, so I pray in the morning. That's something that I put in as a routine, because I want to start my day as a positive. Like, I know a lot of people say, oh, thank God it's Friday. Well, thank God it's Monday. You know, that's something that I
Thank
don't
God for every
understand
day
it.
that we have, right?
Thank God for every day. I don't know why. And then you're counting down the weeks. You're saying, well, I'm waiting for Friday, but why aren't you thankful for every day, especially in the climate that we're in now? Like, we're not in the most normal of kind of circumstances right now. So speaking light and positivity into your daily regime really does set you up for success. It sets you up for just, you know, that you can reach your goals in speaking kinder to yourself, and then that's something that is good for the next generation as well. So
I love that, Sophie. And I think, you know,
yeah.
like I mentioned earlier at the very start, I think that's one of the reasons why we connected, is because you just have that beautiful energy and you go into everything with that positive attitude. And I think you bring that with you all the time. So I appreciate it.
Thank
So
you.
yes.
Thank you.
So for our affirmation, for, if you know, anything with skin problems are usually related to thoughts in the mind about anxiety or fear, and or, you know, like fear of being threatened, because, you know, our skin is the largest organ of our body. It's what we present to the world. So if there's issues with the skin, the thought that's kind of like running through the mind that may be reflected in that skin condition is one of anxiety or fear. And so the new thought pattern that we can replace it with is, I lovingly protect myself with thoughts of joy and peace. The past is forgiven and forgotten, and I am free in this moment. So, and then for hair loss, it's same. It's fear, right? And so it's just reminding ourselves that we're safe and that life is for us, and that really, like, loving ourselves is the way back home. And so this conversation has been so beautiful, and so many wonderful people joined and participated, and I'm so thankful. We will be saving this video and sharing it on both of our pages. I have so much information that I'll probably be entering into the comments even after the video is posted. Yes, Sophie, you are so positive. Please don't change. I'm sure she won't change. It's only going to get better.
Thank
Once
you.
we've
Thank
seen,
you
we
so
can't
much.
unsee. So this was a beautiful conversation. Was there anything that you wanted to say? How can people find you? Because I know you're really big on YouTube. Can you give everybody your social media links and how they can find you and stay connected?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm kind of a YouTuber, but I've got about over 40 videos already.
Mhm.
That's like what I'm doing in my spare time kind of thing. Yeah, so it's just my same channel name. So the name for my Instagram is Sophie K Davis 1, but just take the one off. So Sophie K Davis for my YouTube channel, and that is where you can find me. But again, if you uh look check out my Instagram page, then my channel link is in my description as well,
Perfect.
just
Perfect.
in
So you
case.
guys, everybody follow her, follow each other. Like this is a beautiful
Yeah,
community that we have here of safe. It's a safe community where kindness is at the core. So anybody that I highlight like this, they're good people, you guys. So Sophie, thank you so much
oh,
for
thank you,
sharing
and
your
thank
time with me and your knowledge and your expertise and your beautiful energy. And I feel like we're gonna have to do this again sometime. Like maybe
I
we could do it on
know.
your channel or something. But
Definitely, I'd love that. And thank you so much for having me as well. It's been just so nice to like share each other's tips and stuff and
yes,
speak like just in wellness in general. It's amazing.
yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for everybody that joined us, and I love you all. I'm gonna close the video now. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.